Who knew that my moving would provoke a reaction? But for me, it was a vision fulfilled, one that I actually forgot about. So this open plan allows me to actually watch her while she's in her play area. I'm in the kitchen, I can do things, I can cook, eat, snack, hide away from her too actually, and watch her at the same time. So this area here, she's able to eat, and this is a small area that I can do work in while I'm down here on this level. And I'm so excited. Yes, this level. Now let's go to the next level. Up here is another office for me. One thing I prayed for, I didn't even say it as a prayer, but it came from my heart. It just bubbled out of me. And as I lived in my old 1-bedroom apartment on the 7th floor in a tower right on the border of DC and Maryland, I mean, my view was of the National Monument when I looked out my window, and my windows were over 9 feet tall. Beautiful apartment. Beautiful, beautiful. I loved it. Can't complain, right? And then living in Unit 701. How prophetic is that, right? So anyway, I told God one day, I stood there, I turned around and I looked and I said, yo, God, I need a place for my business. I need an office. And that was it. And that was it. I just said it. It just came from a place like, God, I need a place. I need an office for my business. I need a space for my business. And that's my coaching and my t-shirt business. I'm like, I need that. I need that space. So up here on this level, behold, I have more than that. I have a space for my t-shirt business. I have a space for my office, and I have a space to worship, listen, pray, talk, read. Let's go see them. All right. This is my office area. I still have to put decor on the wall, but you know I will. I love creating and printing out my own little slogans and cliches and quick little snippets, just things to motivate me. I always have affirmation walls. If you know anything about me, you see my affirmation walls if you follow me on IG at Alwonza, right? So here, my office area. These are the same here. Look, I have the screen here where I can maintain my moneyismental.org site, see who is actually downloading. I come over here, I give away free books over here. So this is where pretty much where you go to get that download, right? Money is mental. What does God say about multiple streams of income? So that is what moneyismental.org is about. And then I have here my YouTube channel, Coach A, for my services. I finally got me a business line, and I'm so excited about that. And then here, my YouTube channel right now is at right over 500 subscribers with 120 videos. So excited about that. So YouTube at Coach Alwonza, I can come over here, do my editing, my posting, writing my descriptions. I'm so excited about that. And then also my main site, alwonza.org, which is right here, this is my baby. This is my pride and joy. This is where my store is. This is where I talk about Money is Mental, my complete 10-part ebook series. It is just amazing. So this is my office area upstairs. And now let's go look at my craft area. But stay tuned because, guard your eyes, okay? All right, so this is going to be a holding video because this crafting room is off the chain, you guys. I am so grateful for it. Look at all this space I have in here. And I have to actually hold it because when I turn around and show you everything. Okay, so you see I got the Cricut bag behind me as well as the Joy. I have the Joy, my crafting. I've set up my tables. I have stuff everywhere. So this is my crafting room that I am so excited about. Look at this. Look at all of this space that I have, the view, the light that I have for this space. And I am so excited. However.com. It is definitely truly a work in progress. So with that being said, Hey, I have work to do, and I am so grateful, forever grateful, what God has done for me and opened this space and gave me this opportunity. So this is my craft, and you can see I have stuff everywhere, boards being up, smaller tables. I have more. Look at this, but I am so excited of this clutter. Why? Because I have a place for it. I have a space for it to be in. God has given me this area. I am so grateful that I have this level in my house that I am able to do all of these things. And look, this crafting area is one to be held. So here is my area of my special area. I have my books written by my man of God, Prophet Hubert Angel. I have my books that I have written. I can read. I have my study tools, my different Bible versions. I have the Strong's Concordance, the Vine's Exhaustive Dictionary, guys. These books are well used. I have commentaries. I have, and up here is Prophet Hubert Angel. This is my area. This is my sitting area. This is my seating. I have my lighting here. I come, I relax. And actually, I relax so much that even my daughter knows that this is a place of serenity, a place of comfort, a place of peace. She'll come and she just twists and turns in this chair, and it just blows my mind at how she has seen this area as how I see this area. You know, she comes, she relaxes, she lays down. She knows this is an area that I am grateful to have. I mean, it is quiet, it's not chaotic. It's just enough light and balance. So this is my little more than a library area. More than a library area. So let's go to the next one. This is another area. I'll be working on my lighting, of course, but this is another area that I will be coming to you live from. I really, truly enjoy this little nook and corner area where I can just pop up, stand, give some faith nuggets, and keep it moving, right? So if you know on my channel, I've started these faith nuggets, and I give little quick snippets to build and increase your faith. And I'm so excited about it. So I can come from this area, and I'll show you another area that I will come from, as well as the area that you just saw where I was sitting, that is so serene and peaceful. So I have this space, this home now, moving from a 1-bedroom. Oh my goodness. I love that home. I love that apartment. It fulfilled me. All right. So as I work on the lighting in this area, this is definitely a workspace for me that I really, really enjoy. Just standing up, saying some quick nuggets, and then moving on. So stay tuned for that. And let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we are headed downstairs once again. Now, isn't this something? Yes, this is 3 levels. Now, why am I wearing a sweater in my home? Because if y'all know me, I love the warmth. However, I have been trying to regulate the heat in here, and I am just overwhelmed with the whole process. Like, of course, we know heat rises, so we have the level above me. This level is pretty moderate, but then where we're going now, bring everything. It is freezing cold down there. Not really, but it is cooler than I like to have things, right? So you see my walls are bare, and I have a lot of work in progress to do. Stay tuned for that. I'll be crafting. I love crafting. So I'm going to fill my walls with affirmations and photos. So stay tuned for that. I have some little touch-ups and some cleaning to do. Even you see here in little areas, like I love that I have the space and time and the freedom to do it, because I believe what God has said in Ecclesiastes 11, that I should have multiple streams of income. I should have that freedom to live, to stay home with Sophia, to be with her. And it affords me that time and that opportunity just by simply having a place I can stay in, that I'm comfortable in, and I can work from. So if it means doing a little crafting, I love it. I love crafting. If it means a little straightening up, cleaning, painting, decorating, and designing, I'm excited about that as well. But let us head downstairs to where I'm so excited on this next journey of my life and where I'm going and where God has called me to be and to do. So let's go take a look. All right, so this is the place. This is the space that I've been talking about, that I've been working out to get, that I have left for last. This is another peaceful place for me, a place, an area that I love, like upstairs. But it's more encompassing than that. This is a place of something just for me and my natural self, but then there's a spiritual place as well. So this is it. This is when you come down the final stairs. It is cool down here, you guys. But as you come down, you can see and walk into this area. So excited about. But before we get all the way to the back, let us journey into a place that I really, really enjoy. So before we get there to the meat of everything, does anyone else enjoy laundry like I do? I simply love doing laundry. I love doing laundry. I love to hear the washing machine going. I love and enjoy that I am taking something and I am manually turning it into something clean and new and reusable and refreshing. Like washing is just not washing and drying to me. You're taking something that is rough and been used and now it's pre-loved and now you are like, let's refresh this so that I can reuse it again, right? And it's rough and already worn and tattered, but you put it in the washer, it gets it all nice and clean. You put it in the dryer and it fluffs it up, gets it all nice and soft. I am so excited about the change that a washer and dryer brings, not only to me, but to my family, so that we can enjoy those small little things of a simple blanket over us or a nice soft t-shirt over us, or knowing that when we walk we smell so grateful, like so refreshing, right? It's the joy of a washer and a dryer. Oh my goodness. I mean, does anybody else enjoy an environment like that like I do? Now let's go into the This is it. This is it. Now, this area is something that I couldn't have fathomed or come up with on my own. I was so elated when the vision that I had forgotten all about began to manifest. One day, I was just had this unction like, oh my goodness, this ministry, I really need to move forward with it, right? And so I was out looking and I found a nice community building and it was $80 a night. $80 per hour use, right? So I was excited about it. I didn't complain. I was so happy that I found it and I was like, God, this right here is it. This is where it's at, right? So I was so excited. I even paid up forward. I even contracted to do over a certain amount of time, so that months, so that they wouldn't give away that space. They would not take away my space and no one else could come in. I was like, no, let me lock this in so nobody, hell or anywhere, could come and take over, right? The enemy was not going to come and steal that space from me. I was so excited. And then, would you believe what happened next, right? So there I am, right? I am literally happy about this place, in negotiations, working things out, so excited. And then, all of a sudden, that continuance got obstructed, I got frustrated because I was trying to do it and the people showed up. I was having services on Thursdays in the PM and I was so excited, but then Sophia, I didn't have help with Sophia per se, in a sense where she just always wanted to be in front of me. I was by myself. It was new people coming in. I was new. I didn't have the relationships with people and I just felt frustrated. I was like, God, I can't do this. I don't I just can't do this. So I just stopped everything. After a couple of sessions, I stopped. Yes, I quit. And I was just like, I can't continue to do this. So what you see right here is the Good News Daily. This area right here, I'm getting to it, but this right here is the Good News Daily. It is a daily prophetic messenger. If you haven't gotten yours already, head on over to goodnewsworld.com and grab it. Download it. It's a digital PDF, and it also comes in hardback copy as well if you visit a Spirit Embassy branch near you. And if you need to know where that location is while you're on goodnewsworld.com, look around and find out if there's a location near you. So with that being said, I just said, God, I just can't do this. I'm getting frustrated with Sophia. I'm trying to move the ministry forward, move forward, teach, do these things, and I just couldn't do it. I got frustrated, so I scaled back, and I just went back home, sat down, went back doing things online, which is simply I was okay with that, right? So then time went on. I was doing ministry online. Business was actually growing still. I was taking on clients, my coaching business. I was doing the t-shirt business. I was teaching students, and they were expanding. I was so excited about what was going on, but there was still a lack on the spiritual side of what's in me getting out to the people in ministry, right? So that is where I looked one day, and I just was out looking for another building. Months had gone by, and I said, God, I need a place. This burden, this unction, this function was still in me to get done, right? So with that being said, I was like, oh my goodness. So I started looking for churches. I started looking for buildings. I started looking, what can I afford? And then I actually went looking for a building, and I found a building. I was out with my family, was driving, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's stop. And it was by owner, so everything would be falling in line with me, right? Because that's what I was looking for. So yes, that brings me to Spirit Embassy, Lexington Park Cell Group. That is where we are now. We are in here in a location that I can meet every single Saturday. I don't have to worry about Sophia. She can come down, she can go up, she can do what she feels like. I'm so excited, even though I will have her predominantly in here with me as well. But she'll be comfortable. She won't be missing me, whining, complaining, needing me to pick her up and hold her. It was a traumatizing experience for me, I can tell you that. But this is a vision fulfilled, because when I told God that I was looking for that building, I found it, and I called the guy. I was talking to him, and he was like, oh, well, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on this. And that's when I knew right then. That's when I knew. I said, what is stopping? What is stopping? Okay, I was thinking, okay, perhaps that his building and everything is being held up because it's just for me. Everybody else is going to fall off. And then I waited, and I drove by that building. I stopped, I called, I followed, I did what was necessary. And then I was passing the building one day, and I was just like, God, this is my building. I know it. Before I went and started praying and walking around the building and confessing and doing all kind of things, I heard, your church you'll be living in it. And I was like, God, I did that already. Now, believe it or not, I used to live in a church. Me and my two older children, we lived in the church. Yes, I opened the church, I closed the church, I worked at the church. I did that for almost 5 solid years of my life. Faithfully, nonstop, right? And those were long days. They were 5 days a week of working 12 plus hours, and then that didn't even include the commute. Well, yeah, no, just long 12 hours. Then on Sunday there as well for morning and evening service. So I was there active, my children, in that environment for a long time. And I was like, God, I did that already, and I didn't think that I'll ever be going back to it. But I was like, okay, God, I told him, I said, okay. I did. I said, you give me this place, I'm going to live in it. I don't care. I will leave my apartment, and I will move everything down into the church so that I don't have to worry about anything, right? And then I won't have to worry about finance. I won't have to worry about anything because I'm actually there. Then I gave him my vision that I was like, hey, while I'm there, I'll be able to teach. I can use the same structure, same environment, atmosphere, the background, everything. And guess what? I can actually go and teach and then invite people to the building, to the location, set up tables, teach in groups now instead of doing just one-on-one with my t-shirt teaching and coaching. No, I can do the hands-on now for a group, right? I can do group events. I can rent out the building and say, hey, you can come in and you can have services here. You can come in, you can actually do teachings here, use this space if you wanted to do events and things like that. So that is what I was telling God that I was going to do with the space that he gave me, that I was going to be living in, right? So I was okay with that, right? And then that didn't go through. Then Exodus came, Exodus 23, going over to 24, which is my man of God, Prophet But Angel. He was in Africa, Zimbabwe. And that's where Exodus season was, right? So I was like, okay, I just knew. I kept telling everybody, I was like, when next year, in March next year, that's my last. April next year, I will not be living in this place. April next year, I had a time and everything. April next year, I was like, I will not be living in this place, this apartment anymore. Now, mind you, I didn't know that I had then, but I didn't even see that I had the money to do any movement. I just know I was gone. I was like, I didn't know how or nothing, but I was speaking it and declaring it and saying it out everywhere, right? So that's what I did. I told everybody I could think of, like, hey, I'm moving. I'm not going to be living in this apartment anymore come April 2024. So then I'm like, God, okay, I just guess I was telling people also that I wasn't going to Africa for Exodus season. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to be there. Me and Sophia just be here at the house, right? Preparing for our move in April, which I had no idea how it was going to happen, come about, where the finances was going to come from. The additional, because I didn't want to do it myself, right? So I was grateful. I said, okay. Then all of a sudden, money, opportunities, everything started to flow and open up. And I'm like, okay, God, I guess I'm going. Am I going? Next thing I know, one day I was saying I wasn't going. The next day I had a ticket and I was leaving in a few days. I was like, wow. And I was going to actually make Christmas, the season, the whole Exodus season, right? So I left here in the States on the 19th of December, arrived in Africa on the 20th of December, and I didn't return until the 21st of February. I stayed there for over 2 months. And money, business, I was able to move and do everything that I needed to do. I spent upward of $10,000, and I had no idea that I even had that kind of money. I didn't. I had accounts that I had forgotten about, money that was given to me and stored up. I'm telling you, when God tells you that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for you, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for you. I made mistakes with the money. I know where it went. It wasn't blown upon, but it was a learning curve and things I learned and experiences that I went through. And I was even thrown into experiences that have changed my life forever. And the atmosphere and exposure and being there with my man of God for 2 months, I'll never be the same. So when I came back in February, now I just had till April to get out of here, to get out of the apartment. And I was like, where am I going to go? What am I looking for? So I had found some places when I was over in Africa, and I was like, okay, I can move into this area. And I just saw this one place. I don't know if I saw it there. I saw it here. Oh, I saw it here. So I found different areas as I was looking in Africa. I was like, okay, where am I going to move? What am I going to do? Where do I need to look at? So I did some online footwork. And then when I got back, jet lag. I don't think I've ever experienced jet lag on that level before in my life. Jet lag. Eesh. So got through that, me and the baby, jet lag with a toddler. Can you imagine? Alone? So I got through the jet lag, and then I began to just put my foot forward and just kept going forward. And I looked online, found a place, and I was like, God, this is it. So I'm looking in this area. I'm looking at different places, and this one place stood out. I immediately booked it, came and saw it, and I was like, wow, this is it. I did go and book and sell some other ones, and I had some distractions along the way, and I was just like, wait a minute, this is not it. And then the moment I walked into this home, I was shocked, elated, floored, succumbed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. So I didn't know it was a vision being fulfilled. I had no idea. I had opposition before moving here. I had people not understanding and not seeing the vision or knowing my vision for me. You know, people have their opinions and everything, and life goes on. And I just didn't know that it was going to provoke a reaction like it did. It provoked a reaction, but that's neither here nor there, right? And with other people. So I finally went through the process, and I went and I was hiring the movers and doing all of this, and the money was there. Money was not an issue. I'm grateful for. Even in Africa, money was not an issue. Being at home, money is not an issue, because why? I believe in where I said I didn't know where the money was going to come to go to Africa, because I believe that God provides. When he tells you to do something, he's going to provide. I didn't have to pull from the money that I already had. Not 1 iota, not $1, 1 cent. And it just, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. And confirmation, I'm righteous, because the wealth of the wicked was overflowing unto me at those last moments to get out of here and go to Africa. While I was in Africa, and then when I came back, when I found this place and said, God, this is it. I ran it by some friends. And they was just like, oh, pros and cons. And then I didn't see any cons. I didn't see enough cons that weighed, that were, you do them naturally, and you do your pros and cons spiritually. And the pros for the spiritual side outweighed every con naturally and spiritually. Like, it just didn't have any comparison. So I kept to myself, minding my own business, and I moved stealthily. I just moved, minding my own business. I came down, and the place is 2 hours south of where I was living. So I had to really, really do a culture shock, because I'm a city girl, always lived in these big cities, and I love big cities. I always thought and said out my mouth that I will never live in this. I never enjoy rural or anything. But that's not what God called for me. So when I yielded, and I was like, okay, God, I didn't even have a conversation about, yes, I can do this. It was just yes. And so I drove down, I looked at it, I saw it, I just was amazed. And then I was liking the unit that they were showing me, and he was like, well, this is a possibility of an area as well. You can have this home over here. And I called everything a unit, like living in apartments for so long. And then I was like, okay. And then he showed me this home, and I was like, okay, I like this one. Then he showed me the one like not too far up. He was like, this is a quiet area, you'll like this one. And it had more land space, mass area, like more space area. And then a week or two went by. It wasn't even 2 weeks yet. And then I was like, okay, let's move up. I had a actual move-in date, which I was shooting for March 15th. And then I came down. It was a rainy day, gloomy day. And I was like, God, I just saw myself going to the house and anointing it. I said, I need to see that unit again. I need to see that unit again. Let me anoint it. I had my oil. I knew what I was going to say in my heart to pray. So me and the baby drove down here. It was just raining. It was just overcast. It was just rain, heavy. It wasn't light. It was rain, right? And so we came down, I walked through, but they showed me another unit, a third home. And I was like, and it was closer into the neighborhood. It was closer to the entrance of the neighborhood, not all the way in the back. And I was just like, okay. And so then I had another lady showing me as well. It wasn't the same gentleman how I've been talking to the whole time. And it was another lady. And she says, well, this is the unit. And I was just like, okay. So this is the home. So I was walking through the home, and I was just like, okay, this is it. Okay. And then I end up leaving, and I didn't anoint. I didn't do anything. I didn't actually look into every room. I didn't do a lot that I did the first time. All I told her was like, let me make a video, which I did not do. At the first unit I walked through with the first home I walked through with the gentleman. So I was hoping to come and look at the second home that the gentleman showed me. This third home is what she showed me, and I just said I need to do video. So I came in, I took videos of everything. I went up I came in, I went through the garage, I went through everything. I went through every space, and I stood in it, and I said, this is going to be for this room is going to be for this is what I'm doing here. So I began to speak and decree and declare what was going to be in the room, how I was going to use it, what I was going to look for. And I began to get sight and visions of what it just, you know how you speak it, and then that's exactly what happened. So that's what I began to do, and envisioning myself and creating these images in my mind of what I was going to do. Again, I was just moving forward. So I did video of the whole place, and then we end up leaving. And then as I was leaving, I was like, I didn't even pray, anoint, or do anything. Like, That is something. I went down here to anoint the doorways and pray over the entrances and to pray along the walls and wear my feet and everything. I was just had a whole thing, and then I was just totally thrown off when we came into this home. So we end up leaving. Then the baby, I looked at that there. I watched it over and over again. I was like, God, this is it. This is what we're going to do here. This is it. And I kept looking. Did I get the wall angle over here? What am I going to put on this wall? How am I going to put this room, this space, use this space? And then I was looking for March 15th. And then I just connected with him. And the gentleman sent me a message back one day. And he was like, hey, is that your final day? Would you want to move in this weekend? I'm like, what? I was like, where am I going to get the, like the finances? My finances, I had budgeted out towards a certain time, which was closer to March 15th. I was moving by faith, but I knew by close to the weekend of April 1, I can't even remember anymore, but it was done end of March. I was like, I knew that was going to be my hard deadline where everything was going to be. I had my own money. I could figure it out then. And I knew that I didn't have to live by faith if I wait to the end of March, right? March 15th was by faith. And here it is a whole week early. It was like 10 days or so. And he was like, you want to move in this weekend? And I was just like, okay, well, send me the numbers. I began to negotiate. If you want me in this home sooner than what I wanted to be in, like everything signed, done, and delivered. Now, mind you, I was working on the process was started. It was about which home. In this community, you choose. It was just an easy process, and I'm grateful for it. So I was like, okay, I can move in that home and be it mine, and that's it. So I was like, okay. Then he sent me back some numbers, and I was like, okay, we played with some numbers, I'm telling you. And I said, okay, let's do this. Then take care of this, then take this off, then do this. And then we negotiated, got it down, and next thing I know, he was like, okay, we can do everything online. You don't have to come down here. Of course, you know that. And then I did. I moved everything I did everything online, and then nothing was working. He was like, everything is done. We just need your final signature. And I just could not get into the system. Couldn't get in the system for days. And I was like, wow. So I was waiting. So I came down and I got the key, got my whole home, everything sealed, signed, and delivered, right? Except I didn't have a official paperwork, nothing. I didn't have anything. All I had was a key, and it was mine, and to move in. And I was like, my God, what a miracle, what a testimony, right? So I was like, okay. So I started calling these movers, seeing how much it was going to cost. But because of the 2-hour distance and whatnot, it was just like, I just didn't feel like I needed to spend that money with them. I didn't need to give that money to them. And I had the money. I had the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous, you guys. I had nothing. The money was there. Everything I needed for the home was there. Everything showed up. Everything. I had nothing. When God said move, he said move, and then he sent someone and they provided. And I was just like, wow. And so, but I was like, I don't want to give everything to them. I just didn't feel like that's where my spirit was leading me, right? The Holy Spirit. So I did. And I said, how can I do this myself? So what I did was got my son and my father, and I was like, let's do this. Because I was asking my father if he could keep the baby while me and my son do as much as we can, load into a U-Haul, drive everything down there, load up. Then my dad was like, hey, I'll come and we can use my vehicle as well. So now we had 3 drivers and 3 vehicles. We had a U-Haul and 2 SUVs. I was like, oh my goodness. So me and my son, we did everything. The best thing I could have did was rent a dolly with that U-Haul. So we went and I got everything I needed. We loaded up all the big furniture. We put everything, and then we moved it down here because I only wanted the U-Haul for a day, which was 24 hours. So we're trying to do everything in a day, and I got it done. We packed it up early that morning and drove the 2 hours south, got here, unpacked, and dropped the U-Haul off that evening. I was so excited. We got everything done, right? But God is so good. And so this is where we are. This is where we are sitting right here, where I will be standing, teaching. So I am standing in a place where I will be doing back to those Bible teachings that you asked for, Pastor A, right? With the board. I had so much success from teaching with the board. So that's what I'm excited to return to doing. So this is where I will be once again teaching the Bible. So here I am. I'm back to teaching the Bible with Pastor A. So this is where I'll be once again, teaching the Bible with Pastor A. I'm so excited. I am so excited. If you tune in this far and stayed along for the tour of my new home and the uses of it and the work that still needs to be done, the decorating, the cleaning up of my craft room, the spaces that I have for teaching. You see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas in this home. I'm so excited, but it is actually so cold down here that for my liking, and the sun isn't out today, so I am extremely cool down here. But this is it. So if you're anywhere in the Lexington Park area in Southern Maryland, then definitely let us meet up every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. This is where you can find me teaching. Right? Teaching the Bible with Pastor A. I'm so excited. So let us start something. Let us get a movement going down here in Lexington Park. And thanks for listening to this testimony. Thank you for listening and following along this long. And until next time, I love you guys. And stay tuned, like, follow, and subscribe for more to see what I will be doing right here from my home in Southern Maryland, Lexington Park. Love you guys. Until next time, Pastor A out.